Muay Thai title, Gurkan Ozkan against Ian Jacobs. A much-awaited clash between these two. Let's have a chat with both men just prior to them stepping into the ring.
Well, today would have been the only day that I would have known how good I was going to feel. So in the morning, you know, I surprised myself. I felt 100%, even better than when I fought Paul Briggs. And it's been about 3 years, and let's not forget, I was meant to fight June 30, which I ventured into Sydney to train there for 4 weeks with Johnny Lewis. When I came to Melbourne, I had, I think, just under 4 weeks to go, and he, you know, with a fight with Sam Solomon, he broke his leg. So that took a lot out of me, you know. I stopped training for a couple of weeks and hurt my back a little bit, and it was a bit hard to get into it. And with the Melbourne weather raining all month, I just didn't have time, a good, you know, preparation as far as running. But you know, with the experience I've got and the strength, I believe tonight, you know, I'm aiming to knock him out and capture the ISKA Super Middleweight World title.
You've got a huge reputation for being a strong starter. The first 3 rounds, which everyone says you're the most lethal in the business at any weight, they say. The same game plan this time? You'll push it on hard at first, the first 3 rounds, or will you wait and look? Well,
I'll actually just go by what he's going to do. You know, if he comes in hard, he's just going to get a big shock. But it's like anything, you know, if it's a 12-rounder or 15 or 10 or 5, where in this case it's 5 rounds with 3 minutes, I've prepared myself mentally and physically, and let it be punishing him first round or 5 round. I'm going to have the same strength right through, and hopefully, you know, the crowd will enjoy it as much as, you know, I'm going to.
I think he's got to be just as careful as me in the first 2 rounds, you know, but we'll see how it goes when we get out there.
Yeah. Your leg, you hurt your leg, well, you broke your leg. That's caused a postponement of the first match. Now it's all back, holding together well?
Yeah, as good as it can be, I imagine, you know. Yeah.
Yep. Any plans for this fight?
For this fight?
Yeah.
We'll see when it comes on, mate.
So the wait is almost over as we try and find out who is the best super middleweight kickboxer in Australia, arguably the world. And this man, Ian Jacobs, will not hear of defeat.
Ian Jacobs says tonight is the night that he'll shut Gurkan Ozkan up for good. He has sworn death before defeat and says that Ozkan talks the talk, and now it's time to see him walk the walk. And he says that Gurkan won't be walking anywhere after tonight's main event. It should be a ripper. And Ian Jacobs dancing around the ring to the familiar tune of Queen's We Will Rock You, receiving a huge applause from the Melbourne crowd, of which he is a native, although now residing in Queensland. The atmosphere, you can cut it with a knife, John Casey. Making his way to the ring at the moment, the supreme fighting machine, Gurkan Ozkan. He says that he will knock Ian Jacobs out cold. He said earlier this week that he wants to do it as quick as possible. The first or the second rounds will do him just fine. He's been training extensively with the likes of Johnny Lewis, Costa Zoo and Hector Lopez for his boxing skills up in Sydney. Downtown in Melbourne, he's been training with Jamal Hassan for his kicking skills. He's going to put it all together here tonight and bring out the very best of Gurkan Ozkan against Ian Jacobs. And listen to the crowd go crackers. You can cut the electricity in Festival Hall with a knife, John Casey.
Absolutely outstanding atmosphere here. Trust you're enjoying our coverage right around Australia. This is arguably the kickboxing event of the year. 2 of Australia's toughest men. Between them, 58 fights, 37 KOs.
37 KOs, something has to give. I think it's going to be another short night either way. There's going to be a knockout somewhere there. Whoever it's going to be is anyone's guess, but both these men are pumped and they are primed and they are ready to rumble in our main event of Warzone here at Festival Hall, Melbourne's House of Stoush. I can't wait.
We should point out that both these men hold respective world titles. They are fighting for
Ladies and
ISKA
gentlemen,
World Super Middleweight Muay Thai title.
may the best man win. Ian Jacobs versus Gurkan Ozkan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the War Zone. Let's get ready to rumble! welcome to Melbourne's Festival Hall, Father's Day, September 1, 1996, going live around Australia on Fox Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for the vacant International Sport Karate Association Super Middleweight Championship of the World, vacated by Ivan Hippolyte of the Netherlands. He will meet the winner here in Melbourne, hopefully December 1. ISCA, your sanctioning body, Dr. Peter Lewis at ringside, Michael Vogel scrutinising the scorecards. When the bell tolls for the first of 5 by 3-minute rounds, the man in charge, the legend of kickboxing. A warm welcome for Mr. Dave Hitchcock. Your ringside judges, Bruce Haynes, Ignatius Miscellatus, and Mark Corrie. Representing the state government of Victoria, Premier Jeff Kennett's representatives, Bob Todd and Bart McCarthy. Owen Howard Lee, on behalf of Mr. Tarek Solik, welcome to our main event. Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome on my left, occupying the blue corner, born in Burwood, Victoria, now based Clayfield, Queensland. He's become an instant hit in Victoria since coming to town with Mr. Con Brasalis, February 1992. He holds 8 individual championships with a record of 19 bouts, 17 wins, 2 losses, 11 wins by KO. His only losses to Manson Gibson and Alex Toohey, both world champions, with Wayne Spencer and Matt Baker in the corner. He's beaten Dale Westerman, Brian Murphy, Brian Benton, Colin Smith, and America's Ed Bavelock. Wearing the familiar golden trunks, would you welcome back to Melbourne, scaling 75 kilograms, 26 years of age, the powder keg, Ian Powerhouse Jacobs! Across the ring, the red corner, also 26 years of age, from Turner City, Victoria, with a record of 39 bouts, 37 wins, 2 losses to Tai Kin and Mark May, with a record 26 by knockout, holding 7 championships. In this ring, won the ISCA Amateur Super Middleweight Championship of the World against Wales' Keith Cluley. Last year, he won the WAKO Super Middleweight Championship of the World over Eddie Komesh of Belgium. Scaling 75.2 kilograms, Jamal Azan Academy. Would you welcome the pride of Turkey, Gurkan Ozkan. Dave Hitchcock,
You all know what I want, what I expect. Listen to what I call. When I ask for a break, I want a good, clean break. Just listen to what I call, we won't have any problems. May the best man win.
Almost set for action here at Festival Hall. World title goes on the line. Already Ian Jacobs, the WKA middleweight world champion. He collected that title here at Festival Hall in September 94. And Gurkan Ozkan, the WAKO super middleweight world champion and a former amateur world champion, having won the ISKA Amateur World Championship in this ring as well. So both men have great form coming into this bout.
John Casey, look at the stare down between both men. They are ready to rumble in the first round. The irresistible force against the immovable object. Who is going to win is anybody's guess at the moment. Melbourne, Australia, the world has been waiting 3 years for this event, and it's time to get it on in the first round. Ian the Powerhouse Jacobs in the gold shorts against the supreme fighting machine, Gurkan Ozkan, in the leather black trunks.
Certainly no love lost between these two men. Straight away they're into it, and an excellent left leg from Ian Jacobs. And Ozkan in some trouble. Picks himself off the canvas.
Yes, Gurkan was looking for the big left hand, and Ian caught him. Gurkan says he wants to finish tonight off early. He's vowed to quit kickboxing if he loses here tonight. The pressure is on both men, 2 world champions. But in the end, there can only be one winner. A front kick there by Ian, followed by a left roundhouse kick to the midsection. The crowd is deafening here at Festival High left left roundhouse kick again by the champion, Jacobs.
Watch the heads.
Both men now tying
out of it.
trading some knees against exciting start to the first round. Mark the hammer, Castanini.
Well, it certainly is, and this is probably the best I've seen Ian ever turn out. He's looking a picture. That broken leg doesn't look like it's taken any toll, certainly on his physique or his fitness.
Step back, both of you, step back.
Well, Ian's gone downstairs with a few leg kicks with that right leg, and so far so good. Trading a few knees to the rib cage of Gurkan. Look at the look of intensity on Gurkan Ozkan. He's just so powerful, that punching power. I saw the guy working out a few weeks ago, and he hit the bag so hard that you could hear the cow that the bag was made from.
Oh, big right hand from Gurkan Ozkan.
There it is. An early fall to Ian Jacobs. Tasting a bit of that irrepressible power of Gurkan Ozkan, but he's okay to continue. Did you see the crowd get out of their seats? Ian Jacobs swinging wildly. Gurkan going headhunting. It could be over early. Jacobs moves in with the front kick. Gurkan against the ropes. Both men in the neutral corner. Looking to trade some knees, and referee Dave Hedgecock, the legend, breaks them up.
Well, Ian Jacobs with blood trickling from the nostrils on the end of a big right hand down in round one. Big left hand from Gurkan Ozkan. Looking for an early finish, and that is the end of an exciting round one from Festival Hall.
Gurkan Ozkan hit him with an absolute teeth rattler in that first round. Ian Jacobs found the canvas for the first time. Excitement aplenty in the first round. Mark Castanini, how did you see that? What a start.
Well, certainly the sparring that Gurkan's been doing with the likes of Costa Ju and Hector Lopez certainly showed up there. Ian Jacobs, in turn, using that left leg with those roundhouse kicks. I'd say he'd been working on them to take the pressure off the leg that had been broken. But you can cut the atmosphere with a knife in here. This is world-class kickboxing.
Both men are going toe-to-toe. Both men are trading plenty of leather. Ian Jacobs has gone downstairs with those leg kicks. They've been devastating so far. Gurkan Ozkan has been drilling those big bombing fists upstairs. Both men taking a lot of knocks in that first round. What a ripper.
Well, very impressive display from Gurkan Ozkan. I don't think there's any doubt that Ian Jacobs has found himself in a cauldron here. Lots of crowd support for Ozkan. So much anticipation and expectation for this fight. And certainly it must have been tough to get his head together coming into this.
Certainly, I think what Ian's going to have to do is not give Gurkan that room to unleash those punches. He's going to want to hang on and get those knees in and try not to get hit on the way in.
Round two action from Festival Hall for the ISKA World Super Middleweight Muay Thai title. Gurkan Ozkan, left of your screen in the black trunks against Ian Jacobs. Both world champions. Jacobs down in round one.
Sitting here at ringside, you can feel the power behind those punches of Gurkan Ozkan. Amazing amount of force that he gets in those gloves. And Ian Jacobs keeping up the footwork, dancing around, moves in with the knee to the rib section of Gurkan. Turns him around in the blue corner.
Okay, break, step back.
Referee Dave Hedgecock telling him to pull off the ropes and to break it. Gurkan moving in with the right hand. Didn't quite find the mark. Jacobs goes with an inside left thigh kick. Gurkan retaliates with a leg kick of his own. Ooh, that was a stunning right hand by Ian Jacobs. Didn't connect. It fired up Gurkan Ozkan, who retaliated. John Casey, the tension, the power of those punches, it's amazing.
Well, there's no doubt Ian Jacobs has been stung by the power of Gurkan Ozkan again here in round two as well, but bravely he keeps coming forward. And Ozkan counter-punching certainly landed the biggest shot so far in this fight.
Ian Jacobs also confident moving into the grapple, looking more confident with his knees as well. And there's Gurkan swinging wildly with that right hand. Cop one of those flush on the jaw, and it's good night. Jacobs with the front kick. Gurkan coming over the top with the right hand. In the blue corner, stalking.
Okay, break, step back, off the ropes, come on, step back.
And the legend Dave Hedgecock just separating both men. This capacity crowd at Festival Hall on the edge of their seats. Very vocal indeed. We are seeing a thrilling main event so far between two of the finest kickboxing champions, not only in Australia, but in the world.
Hold on.
Jacobs is going to have to bridge this gap very quickly and try not to get hit on the way in to the grappling, because any of those punches landing could certainly take their toll on him. And he's going to have to just get in there or stay out of range, one or the other.
Ian, the powerhouse Jacobs.
Step back.
Gurkan, the supreme fighting machine, Ozkan in centre ring at the moment. Jacobs goes low. Gurkan checks the kick. Moves in to the left, didn't find the mark. There's another crushing knee to the abdomen by the powerhouse. He's trying to get them up high now with that left knee, hoping for a knockout.
Watch the elbows, looking.
The pressure is definitely on both fighters. There's a knee of his own. Gurkan with that clubbing right hand. And a warning by referee Dave Hedgecock, John Casey, for punching him when he was out of the ropes.
Yes, Ian Jacobs tagged when he was off balance through the ropes. And at the moment, it's the kicking skills of Jacobs up against the boxing skills of Gurkan Ozkan. He has a edge in power. Jacobs trying to work in a little closer.
Well, they call Ian Jacobs Australia's own Van Dam. He has the movie star looks. He has the kicking prowess. The only thing missing is the Belgian accent. And he is excitement personified. The end of the second round at Festival Hall. Gurkan Ozkan and Ian Jacobs, Mark the Hammer Castanini at ringside. How did you see that one?
Well, this is kickboxing at its finest. Gurkan there, he let his big bombs go early. Now he's a little bit tentative. He's sort of given it his all, but he lets it all go and then he relaxes. And you'll see another storm. It's like the lull before the storm with Gurkan. He's been known to do it before, and I don't see any reason why he won't do it again tonight. Ian Jacobs, well, what can I say? There was a question mark over him because of his broken leg, but I think he can just about take that one away because he's held nothing back, and he's using his full array of kicks, and also his hands aren't looking too sloppy either.
Come on, guys.
Well, Gurkan Ozkan was said to be at his most dangerous through the first two rounds. They are now over. And here we go for round 3, the ISKA World Super Middleweight Muay Thai title. Ian Jacobs in the gold trunks, Gurkan Ozkan in the black.
I'm so excited about this one. I can hardly stay in my seat. I'm telling you that, John Casey. Inside leg kick to open up the round for Gurkan Ozkan as both men tie each other up again in the grapple, trying to work those knees. Jacobs working the knees to the ribs. Ooh, came close to copying him on the jaw. Front kick, flying front kick in the red corner. Gurkan Ozkan trying to fight his way out of there. Fist to the head. Oh, I thought he was on rubber leg street there for a moment. Ian Jacobs, he copped one sweet on the kisser. And referee Dave Hedgecock had to separate both men.
Oh, he soaked up plenty of punishment, Ian Jacobs. He is a very brave customer, but one wonders if he can keep taking this punishment from Ozkan. Certainly Jacobs is the busier of the two at the moment, but Ozkan appears to have an edge in power, particularly with those right and left hands.
Well, those hands are just like heat-seeking missiles of Gurkan Ozkan's. And so far in this round, Ian Jacobs taking more knocks on the front door, but he's got him back into the red corner again, trying to work those knees. Gurkan's got him tied up, turns him around. And Dave Hedgecock stepping in again to separate both fighters. Low kick by Gurkan. Comes over the top with the right hand. There's the left. Ian Jacobs coughed another one, sweet as well. That'll take the mustard right out of you.
Off the right.
Well, I believe Ian Jacobs is starting to feel the effects here, right on top of our commentary position. Took another big shot from Ozkan, and he just looked a little bit misty-eyed.
Ozkan is waiting, trying to measure him. Jacobs going in for the grapple again. Ozkan turns him around, and referee Dave Hedgecock separating them. Front kick there by Ian. Mark Castanini, another fantastic round of action.
This is another great round. Gurkan, I think, just waiting for the right opportunity, and Ian showing he's got a nice pair of hands himself there, throwing some nice combination punching. But,
watch the head.
I think that Gurkan's playing possum a little bit and just waiting for the right opportunity.
Step back, let go.
Well, Jacobs now has a cut on the bridge of his nose, and that is causing him problems as well, wiping blood away from his eyes. He walks into another good left hand from Gurkan Ozkan. It is war out there at the moment here in round 3.
Absolute total warfare. You couldn't choose a better fight name for tonight than the war zone. It's no retreat, no surrender for both men. Tangled up in the neutral corner. Referee Dave Hedgecock has to step in to separate them. These two legends of Aussie kickboxing. Gurkan Ozkan, the supreme fighting machine, the powerhouse. Ian Jacobs gets a knee to the midsection. Gurkan's through the ropes, and Ian will have to back off for a moment. What a fantastic fight. There's the spinning kick of Ian Jacobs. Didn't quite find the mark.
Come on, guys, off the ropes.
Gurkan turned him around in the red corner.
Well, Gurkan Ozkan did well there to defend himself. Lightning quick, Ian Jacobs comes up with a huge kick to end round 3.
What a pearler we are seeing. Mark the Hammer Castanini. It just keeps on getting better.
Well, it does. But we've got to remember that this is a Muay Thai fight, so Ian has been getting in and throwing a few more knees than Gurkan at this stage. I don't know how the judges are scoring it, but for mine, I'd have to say those knees have to be scoring well. Also, kicking does score higher than punching, and Ian has been throwing the odd roundhouse and also the spinning kick, so it's got to be close, but let's see how the judges score it. If it goes to the distance.
Yes, very, very even fight so far. I can see you scribbling like a mad professor again, John Casey. What have you got written down there?
Well, certainly I gave the first round to Gurkan Ozkan after that knockdown, but second round was shared on my card, and Ian Jacobs just did enough there in round 3 to take a 10-9 round. But I have Ozkan in front by a point, 29-28, as we go into round 4. Unofficial scores, of course.
Seconds out.
I just got the impression that Ian Jacobs is feeling a little stronger now and has worn through the early onslaught of Gurkan Ozkan. And here we go, round 4. Jacobs stalking Ozkan in the gold trunks. Ozkan, for the moment, prepared to let Jacobs come forward and use counter-punching tactics.
Ozkan has to watch Ian Jacobs' knees because, as Colin Smith from New Zealand found out, Jacobs can get those knees up very high.
There was a nice right hand, flush on the kisser of Ian Jacobs. Gurkan standing back, letting Jacobs come to him. Oh, nice kick combination, 2 round kicks and a front kick by Jacobs. Clubbing right hand, put it through the ropes, but it was only a fall down. And they're right to continue, and Gurkan just taking his time, measuring his shots at the moment. Side kick followed up by a roundhouse kick by the powerhouse Ian Jacobs.
What a great contrast we've got here. Ozkan doing all the damage upstairs, and Ian Jacobs coming to the fore with his leg work. Big right kick over the top of Ozkan. Shakes his head, said, "I'm not hurt." Pinned in the neutral corner. Jacobs goes to work with the knees. And now upstairs as well, Ozkan soaking up plenty of punishment.
I've never seen someone give it to Ozkan like I am seeing now. Gurkan Ozkan is sustaining a lot of punishment, and he's trying to dish it out just as evenly as Ian Jacobs ties him up, brings those legs up very high to work the knees. What a fantastic carnival of carnage we're seeing at the moment at Festival Hall. Jacobs going all out. Gurkan knows he has to pull something out. Fantastic stuff, John Casey.
Oh, without a doubt, the best kickboxing event we've seen on Fox Sports. 2 warriors standing toe-to-toe.
Step back.
And now Dave Hedgecock, our referee, needs to step between them. Jacobs coming on strong here in round 4 after taking the 3rd round on my card.
Hands off the ropes. Come off those corners.
Well, Gurkan content to stay back and let Jacobs come to him. Fires in that jab.
Let him go.
A two-threadler it was again. There's the high knee. Close but no cigar for Ian Jacobs. Tries to get a blow into the ribs. Look at him go. The powerhouse from Queensland. Gurkan fires back. What a ripper. The crowd are out of their seats.
Well, this is extraordinary scenes here. Both men giving their all. Good uppercut from Ozkan, but Jacobs just keeps coming forward.
Ozkan has to keep his head up or he's going to cop a knee. He's got to be upright.
Obviously, Ozkan is starting to feel the effects. It's been 3.5 very tough rounds. We close in on the concluding stages of round 4, and Ozkan does appear to be a little fatigued at the moment. Jacobs has stalked him right from the start.
Ozkan looks like he's trying to rely a lot more on his power than his skill. Perhaps he should be moving around a little bit more. Oh, Ian Jacobs at that left knee to the head at the end of the round. What a ripper here at Festival Hall. You are seeing it on Fox Sports, my word. What a carnival of fighting we are seeing, John Casey. This is amazing.
Well, Ian Jacobs gets 10 out of 10 for bravery. He keeps coming forward, and he may be wearing Gurkan Ozkan down. I gave him round number 4 as well. And through the first 4 rounds, I have it 38 points apiece.
Well, this is Muay Thai, John. This is something a little bit different to the standard kickboxing with which Gurkan is so proficient in. This is with the knees and the grappling, so it's a slightly different ball game. Ian, on the other hand, has been doing his homework well. He's back with his old trainer, Wayne Spencer, after he's been for a short period of time with Dave Briggs. And this is the Ian Jacobs of old. This is how Ian used to fight 2-3 years ago.
The ISKA World Super Middleweight Muay Thai title on the line here. 5th and final round from Festival Hall.
go.
We've seen some great fights here in the past, and this certainly living up to the reputation of this great venue.
Their house of style, Sean, that's right, it doesn't come any better. And what we're seeing in the ring at the moment is a brawl for it all between two of the finest kickboxers on this planet.
Step back, step back.
Ian Jacobs moving in with that knee again to the ribs of Gurkan Ozkan, fires in the left. Gurkan felt that one, goes down from a left hand, planted him like a tree with that one. Knees to the ribs again. Gurkan is feeling the brunt of the wrath of Ian Jacobs. He needs to pull something out, Gurkan Ozkan.
Step back, step back.
Or it could be the beginning of the end.
Was a big left hand there from Ian Jacobs. It wasn't counted as a knockdown, though. And Ozkan now trying to fight back. He is very tired at the moment.
Step back, let go, let go.
As we suspected, first 2 rounds were going to be the most dangerous for Jacobs. He weathered those, and now he is coming on strong here.
Trying to figure out the game plan of Gurkan Ozkan. He's staying in the corner. He's inviting Jacobs in, and then he's trying to put him away with his fists. But at the moment, the game plan, the strategy just isn't working for him, Mark the Hammer.
Well, I'm not sure if Gurkan's waiting for something or he hasn't fired on all cylinders tonight, but that's probably one of the few times that Gurkan's actually dropped to his knee from a punch from anyone.
Well, Gurkan Ozkan certainly dished out plenty of punishment in the early stages. And Jacobs soaked it up, and that must have been disconcerting for Ozkan. Another big left hand from Gurkan. Ozkan finds the target.
Gurkan's got his head down again. He's going to have to guard up, trying to fight his way out of the corner with his fists. Jacobs looks to be doing some damage with those killer knees of his. Gurkan turning his back, not a good idea. Swings wildly with that left. Goes with the jab, again with the left. Jacobs is working him upstairs and downstairs. The uppercut didn't come up for Gurkan. You can hear the crowd rallying behind the local champion, Gurkan Ozkan. Tarak Solak Promotions have put together a fantastic main event. You're seeing it here on Fox Sport. What a ripper.
Well, 2 good right hands from Ozkan, and now the left leg from Ian Jacobs. Both men very tired. Ozkan looking for a knockout. Jacobs unsteady on his feet, perhaps more with fatigue, but he has soaked up a lot of punishment. This has been a war.
Jacobs has to keep his guard up here, John, because one of those punches from Gurkan will be all over.
Gurkan just losing his footing there over in the blue corner. Gurkan swinging, looking for the punch that'll find the mark, that'll send Ian Jacobs down as he predicted. So far it hasn't come, and it doesn't look like it's going to come, because that's the end of the war zone. That's the end of the fight that Australia and the world has been waiting 3 years for. We have seen one of the all-time great kickboxing bouts, John Casey. It doesn't get much better than that.
Well, that's going to be very difficult to score as well. We had quite a contrast there. 2 brave men, 2 world champions, and worthy world champions at that. They put on an outstanding affair here, and it's very hard to split them.
It doesn't come much better than this fight. But both fighters showing everything it takes to be a professional fighter, heart, skill, and a lot of guts and determination, and it's all down to the judges now.
I don't think I've seen more of a slugfest than we saw tonight. Both men held nothing back, went toe-to-toe, blow for blow. What a fantastic main event. I'm lost for words, John Casey.
Well, it's been very, very entertaining here at Festival Hall, and our feature event has lived up to expectations. Very hard to score that final round. I did give an edge to Ian Jacobs and have him winning it by 1.4847, but it could go either way.
Well, it could at that, John. And after some of the earlier decisions of the night, I'm not prepared to stake a claim on this one. I'm just going to sit back and let it ride, and let's just see what comes of it.
Nice moment for the 2 fighters as well. They embrace in centre ring after putting on arguably the best kickboxing show we've seen on Fox Sports.
50-50. The first 2 rounds, I strongly believe that Gurkan would have hurt Ian. And the 3rd and the 4th, I strongly believe...
Well, this has been just a phenomenal main event. I've seen so many of the greatest kickboxing shows held in this country over the past few years, but this main event comes close to ranking at the top of what I've seen. We have seen 2 true champions in action. There can only be one winner, unfortunately. but my word, Mark Castanini, just phenomenal.
Well, both fighters, as I said earlier, well prepared, well turned out. You won't see a much finer more professional athlete in any sport. And I think they're a credit to the sport and a credit to themselves.
Scenes of people standing up around the ring. Everyone is out of their seat. No one besides us here in the commentary position is sitting down.
Ladies and gentlemen, with both Gurkan and Ian Jacobs move to centre ring. Everybody stand back, please. Just the two contestants and referee, Dave Hedgecock, facing the cameras. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. The winner is from the blue corner, the powerhouse, Ian Jacobs.
Ian, the powerhouse Jacobs, has done what some thought was impossible. He has defeated Gurkan Ozkan by unanimous decision in the showdown of showdowns we've been waiting so many years for. And what a classic confrontation it was, one for the archives.
Well, it came down to those knee shots paying more than the punching. At the end of the day, it was a Muay Thai fight, and the judges scored it correctly. Ian using his knees to greater effect, and also the kicking. Gurkan relying maybe just a little bit too much on his hands, but needless to say, I don't think a rematch is out of the question.
With the WKA middleweight championship here in September 1994, captures his second world championship. 9 championships for Ian Jacobs. Ladies and gentlemen, would you congratulate formally Ian Powerhouse Jacobs. Ian, let's go back a bit. When you first came to Melbourne with Con Brasalis in 1992, we established that you were born in Victoria, so really your grassroots are here, Ian, and the Melbourne public love you more than Brisbane, we believe.
I think so too. I have a lot of support from Queensland. Actually, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. There's probably about 200 people here from Queensland. I'd like to thank all them, but also I'd really like to thank all the Victorians for coming. If you spare me a few minutes and hold on, I have something very big to say at the end of the show.
Ian, Gurkan Ozkan, he'd captured the imagination of Melbourne. He'd won a world championship. You knew his power, his punching power. He knocked you down in the first round. Was it dangerous times for you?
Well, definitely. I have to say one thing to Gurkan. That's the first time ever I've been put on the canvas inside a fight ring during fighting. Thanks for the experience, mate. You don't know it when it happens, it just happens. I understand what happens when people get knocked out now. I listen to my trainer a bit more. But definitely the two hardest fighters that I've fought in Victoria are both from the Turkish community, and you do beat them very tough, believe me. Thank you.
Ian, don't go away. When I talk to Ian Jacobs and Gurkan Ozkan, naturally bitterly disappointed. Ian, Muay Thai hasn't been your style of fighting really, but tonight your knees were very potent. Did you work on that in the lead up?
Well, I tried to, but I didn't expect Gurkan's defence on knees to be as good. I knew that he'd be defensive on the kicks, but I tried to confuse him a bit with them. It didn't work. Gurkan's a very strong fighter, very good, but I worked on my hands a bit. I was still a bit shy to use them because of Gurkan's power. When he hits you, you know about it, so that's something you do have to be careful of.
Ian, you came into this fight, your last fight against Sam Baboon Solomon, you broke your right leg. So was it a worry leading up? There was a delay before you came in the ring. Tell us what happened in the dressing room.
Well, actually, I have to also thank Gurkan for that. If he wanted to, he could have picked on my leg. I've only been able to train 3 weeks. I promised to fight. I got very fit, thanks to Wayne, as fit as I could have. Most of my fights I've trained for 3 weeks, so there's no excuses there. But definitely, Gurkan could have gone after my leg, and he didn't. Beautiful sport. I didn't expect it. Can I say something? Please, please. I ask of everybody to understand this, and I especially ask of Gurkan Ozkan. Gurkan, mate, please, you are the hardest fighter I've ever fought, and please don't disappoint myself, the Melbourne crowd, the world crowd, by retiring. Does everybody support me? If you please do, give a strong applause. Yeah, you guys got to continue. I beg of you. I am honestly even prepared to relinquish my title and give it to Gurkan. He is, I believe, the best super middleweight. I am not a super middleweight fighter. I am the best middleweight. Thank you.
Gurkan, you didn't let anybody down tonight. Come on, put your hands together for a gallant fighter. He believes he's let you down, but he hasn't. Gurkan, you're not seriously thinking about retiring, are you? There you are. The people, they're proud of you.
Only I know what I'm capable of. I don't think this was my best, but I didn't realise until I jumped in the ring. So I apologise for not giving you my best. If you give me one more chance, I mean, this is my third loss. Anybody knows kickboxing? When I fought Mark May, I dehydrated. Rematch, I won. Tai King, I dehydrated. It's been a year. I hope Ian can give me a rematch because I can't even lift my arm up, and I know when I can't do that, and that's when I've dehydrated. It's not an excuse, but I'm only human. And I know I can beat any fighter. You know, it's like, it's hard, but I apologise. I just haven't got the energy to explain. Ian Jacobs, you're harder than I expected, but just shows, you know, if somebody pushes you, they bring out the best in you. And that wasn't my best, but it was good enough for